Good morning. My name is Stephen King, and I'm the Managing Director here at the Quonset Development Corporation. I want to thank you for joining us here this morning as we dedicate a new Modernized Pier 2 here at the Port of Davisville. I want to welcome Governor McKee and thank him for his support of this project, and also for his support for $60 million provided in his budget for the coming fiscal year to help us make additional improvements here at the port. Also want to thank and acknowledge our other guests, Lieutenant Governor Sabina Matos. Thank you, Governor. Our local representatives, Robert Craven and Julie Casimiro. Thank you both for coming. We also want to recognize Matthew Coy, who's on the board of directors here at the Quonset Development Corporation. And also Chris Albert from Senator Reed's office. Thank you, Chris. Karen Bradbury from Senator Whitehouse's office. Kathy Reardon and Mike DeAngelis from Congressman Sageman's office. As many of you know, the Port of Davisville is the hub of maritime trade here in Rhode Island, supporting nearly 1,700 jobs. The port, along with its partner from Northland Distribution, NORAD, Michael and Justin Miranda, I recognize you back, handles over several 100,000 cars on an annual basis, providing those jobs, making the port one of the top 10 locations in all of North America for that business. It was 64 years ago, on March 5th, 1958, that Davisville Pier 2 was commissioned by the United States Navy with great fanfare. At the time, acknowledged to be the largest naval shore establishment of its time. A 91-year-old Senator Theodore Francis Green presided over the ceremony. In his remarks, he noted, quote, "When one considers the degree of activity that prevails here even in peacetime, it does not require much imagination to realize how important such a berthing facility as this would be in a time of war to the seabees and consequently to the nation." The same sentiment is still true today as we consider the activity occurring here with the ongoing auto import business and the activity to come with the emerging offshore wind energy industry. This pier has served our nation and our state for over 64 years. The improvements we celebrate today will ensure the pier's service to our state for another 50 years into the future. I want to recognize the leadership of Governor McKee, former Governor Gina Raimondo, and our entire General Assembly in supporting this initiative. With their leadership and support, the citizens of Rhode Island approved a $50 million bond issue in 2016. That bond, combined with capital from the state and from the QDC, funded this entire effort. Today we mark the completion of that 6-year effort of planning, engineering, permitting, and construction. This effort has included approximately 200,000 labor hours, 21 million pounds of steel, 10,000 cubic yards of concrete, 21,000 tons of stone, 15,000 tons of gravel, 8,000 tons of asphalt, and over 1.5 million cubic yards of dredging. I'm proud to report that this project, originally programmed at $90 million, has been delivered $7 million under budget. Making a project of this magnitude successful takes the efforts of many. I want to thank my entire staff at QDC, acknowledge their great effort, as well as the many private engineering and construction partners we've had during the project. That team is comprised of RT Group, Time Bond, Foth Environment and Engineering, GCA Geoenvironmental, Moffitt Nickel, Hard Corporation, Narragansett Improvement Company, Seaview Railroad, Great Lakes Dredge and Dock, Casman Dredging and Marine Contracting, Specialty Diving Services, LM Heavy Civil Construction, Manafort Transit, LLC. The completion of this project provides several benefits. As I mentioned, it extends useful life for the pier for 50 years. It provides a new berth along the east face. The government insurance is about a year ago. We dedicated that new berth at that time. It provides deepened berth to accommodate larger vessels. It ensures the ongoing import activity and ensures the ongoing jobs that I mentioned. And it provides a platform for new business with offshore wind. The Quonset Business Park today hosts over 200 companies employing nearly 13,000 people. Our park's success is rooted in its infrastructure and its readiness. The completion of this project solidifies the readiness and infrastructure of the port's largest asset, Davisville Pier 2. As we celebrate this milestone, we look forward to many similar events, Governor, when we begin to make the new improvements with the $60 million included in your budget. At this time, it's now my honor to introduce the Governor of our great state of Rhode Island, Governor Dan McKee.
It's great to be here. And we're not here, I want to really emphasize this. You know, we've seen, you know, in Rhode Island, we have momentum like we've never seen before. But one of the reasons, and one of the primary reasons, is that the work that has been done in advance of this time frame, in advance of the pandemic. Everyone that's here today, also Steve, in terms of down here in the Quonset area, this is one piece of the state's momentum, and it wouldn't be happening unless the work was done well in advance of the time that I became governor. Yet we right now, we have a plan. And the plan is going to move us forward in a state that we've never seen before, both economically, culturally, education-wise. And it's really important that we're here today to tell you exactly why. And I can feel the wind and the breeze around us. A walking wind is a reality here in Rhode Island, and we're going to take full advantage of it. But look at this. There's no place in America that looks like this. And the investments that are being made here. So I want to thank the Quonset Business Park, continuing to help us elevate the state of Rhode Island in a way that I believe is the sky's the limit for us. And I want to thank Steve King, along with Rep. Julie Casmero for being here, her leadership as well, and Representative Bob Craven. Bob, thank you for walking the Wexford Art Festival with me the other day. It's not just about the economy, it's about our art and our music and our education. And when you blend it all together, what a great state that we live in. So thank you, Rep, for taking the time to walk with me through the art festival the other day. And of course, Lieutenant Governor Matos, we're a team, and she's been on board, and she sees a vision, and she brings a great deal to the table as well in terms of making sure we're connecting all our 39 cities and towns and all the value that each one of our communities bring and the communities that make up our community. So we're a leader, and we should be proud of that. A leader in wind and renewable energy. 2 weeks ago, I was in Providence at the ribbon cutting ceremony of Boscalis, a global company that chose to open its renewables hub right here in Rhode Island. It will support the company's U.S. offshore wind projects, and we're going to be a leader in that. I was on a call with the President of the United States, with governors up and down the East Coast, and they're making a commitment, the White House is making a commitment to the governors on the ocean front about renewables, and bringing renewables as one of our top priorities in terms of clean energy that's going to transform not only Rhode Island, but the entire country. So this kind of momentum that we have right here in Rhode Island is real, and when we talk about the momentum, a lot of that comes right here in Quonset. 200 companies, 12,000 jobs. 200 companies, over 12,000 jobs, and is well positioned for the coming up with a blue economy. Over $1 billion in private investment. Thank you to our businesses that are invested in our state of Rhode Island and bringing jobs to our state. We need to encourage not only big business, but small business. And we need to do everything that we can to make it attractive to both big business and small business to be profitable here in the state of Rhode Island, so the jobs, those good paying jobs, follow. Davisville alone supports over 1,700 of those jobs for Rhode Island. The business park is a success story that we are very proud of. The latest modifications to Pier 2 are a significant step toward helping the state combat the climate crisis and furthers the goal of bringing more jobs, good paying jobs, here to Rhode Island in a variety of fields. Wind cargo, project cargo, short sea shipping, and more oil cargo. So I want to thank everybody. The Pier 2 we are celebrating today. Just think every time we get a gust of wind and more energy is going to the homes in the state of Rhode Island. That is good. $90 million bond approved by the voters in the state of Rhode Island. They're part of this momentum. Those bonds not approved, we're not standing here today. So we thank the voters and the people who live in the state of Rhode Island for having faith in the direction that we're taking as a state. The project came in $7 million on the budget. What are we gonna do with that $7 million, Steve? That's the question.
Well, Governor, the state saved $3 million on it, and PBC did not have to borrow $4 million.
All right, we like that. I did a lot of that in our surplus that we just had, and I appropriated a lot of the surplus towards dollars that we did not have to borrow. That's a good thing, Steve. I learned that trick as a mayor of Cumberland. And also, one of the things you do, and I'll just end with this, you fill the pipeline with great ideas. And then those ideas come out one at a time. And if you backfill it, those ideas and those projects and those initiatives are going to keep on coming. I was fortunate, 6 years after I was mayor of Cumberland, for anybody who lives in Cumberland, we did wells on open space property so that we can use the water in the ground to actually provide water for the next 50 years for the people who live in the town of Cumberland. That's what we're doing here today. We're planting seeds, we're filling the pipeline with extraordinary ideas, and as a state we made a commitment to be bold in our efforts to address climate change. We are the ocean state, and we're proud of it. And we are in the forefront of the climate crisis. But we are also well positioned to lead the way for not only the state of Rhode Island and Northeast Canada, but also for the entire country. And we're going to be recognized for that. And the reason that we're going to be recognized for that is the work that Steve and the Quonset Park Authority has accomplished here. I'm proud to be here. I'm looking forward to the next project on the other side of the vessel there that brought in the autos into Rhode Island. And then we're going to have a great project over there, and we'll have a ribbon cutting, in about 5 years, 4 years, 3 years? What do you think?
About 3, Governor.
3 years.
On all the contracts.
All right. 3 years, we'll be back here. We'll be here for the groundbreaking before then. All right, I'll give the mic back to you. Thank you so much. I do have a certificate of special recognition that I wanted to give to the Quonset Development Corporation in celebration of completed expansion and modernization of Pier 2 at the Quonset Port of Davisville. It's gratitude. I get to sign these things on behalf of myself as well as the people of the state of Rhode Island. So thank you very much.
I appreciate it. So I do want to recognize it takes a great effort at all levels of government, a lot of partners to make Quonset a success. Our host community folks are here. Greg Mancini is the town council president. Kim Page is the town council. I want to thank them for being here as well. And as the governor mentioned, he's pulling the oars in the same direction with our lieutenant governor, which is terrific. Glad to see them working together. This is my great honor now to introduce you to the lieutenant governor of the state of Rhode Island, Governor Disobedient.
Such a great opportunity to be here to say thank you. I want to thank the local elected officials. As you know, the governor and I go back to our local roots, and we know the importance of the work that happens at the local level. So I want to thank the council president and the council members that are here. I want to thank the state rep Casimiro and Craven for the work that you do. Thank you for what you're doing. I want to thank the governor for his vision to support and invest in the future of the state of Rhode Island. This is a great day that we're here today, but I'm going to put a seed in every of you in your mind. I've been talking individually to all of you. Think about the great thing that it would be if we had a train system that would come from Westerly and stop in Quonset, go to Pawtucket, and go to Woonsocket. And I'm going to share this with you because all of us can make this happen. If we work in collaboration, this will be a game changer for the state of Rhode Island to make sure that we're connected, as the governor said earlier. One of our priorities is make sure that the state of Rhode Island, every community that makes up the state of Rhode Island is represented. We need the people to be able to come from Woonsocket to Westerly to work here in Quonset. And we can do that if we are all working towards the same goal. That is going to create good paying jobs for the state of Rhode Island in the wind industry. That is the future, it's the present and the future, and we can do it. And with that also, one of the things that the governor always does is recognize the importance of the federal delegation that we have that can make this a reality. And right now we have the representatives right here from Senator Jack Reed, Senator Whitehouse, Congressman Sicilian, and Congressman Langevin, who has been working really hard at the federal level to bring resources to the state of Rhode Island. So projects like this are Thank you for all of us can work together to make that a reality. Let's work on that train station. Thank you.
That's a great idea. I like to point out the Rhode Island red line. You know, Rhode Island red. So this time, I'd like to introduce our two local representatives, beginning with Representative Julie Casimiro. As I mentioned, the funding for the project is what makes it go. As we all know, all spending bills begin in the House, so we're very fortunate to have two local representatives here representing North Kingstown and Quonset specifically. So we appreciate their help and support over the years in getting this money for us to make this a reality. So with that, I'd like to introduce Julie Casimiro.
Thank you. I just wanted to say a real heartfelt thank you to Governor McKee for his continued investment in Quonset. There is amazing things happening here, and that's under Stephen King's leadership. It's just, I continue to be blown away by everything that I see, and I think everything that's happening here is really fantastic. This is an exciting day for the Port of Davisville as we retain jobs and continue to create new jobs. We're expanding businesses and the capacity of the port. But most importantly, when did you ever hear of a project coming in $7 million under budget? I am just in awe of everything that's happening here, and I just wanted to say congratulations to everyone who is involved, everyone who is working so hard to make this the gem of Rhode Island. Thank you, Governor McKee. Thank you, Stephen.
Thank you, Rick. We're particularly proud of having the project coming under budget, so I appreciate you acknowledging that. I'd also like to introduce Representative Bob Cravey.
Thank you, Governor, Lieutenant Governor, my comrade in arms, Julie Casimiro, and our council president, and one of the most effective councils that I've ever seen here since I moved here in 1974, which includes Kim Page. In 1973, when I moved here, I was going into my senior year of LaSalle. I thought the neighborhood that my folks moved us into, because it had been abandoned by the Navy officers, was something akin to 3 Mile Island, because no one lived there. And I couldn't understand why my parents were buying a house in a neighborhood that no one lived in. And then 20 years later, somebody talked me into running for town council. And I learned about Quonset Point, Davisville. And it was the issue that everyone told me that had to be taken care of and developed in order to be able to have a future not only for North Kingstown, but for Rhode Island. And I took a tour, and it was a bunch of abandoned buildings, all beat up. It was at the same stage that I thought that the neighborhood I moved into 20 years earlier was. Today, that's not the case. Today, when I ran in 1994, people told me it was nothing but rhetoric, that we were going to fix Quonset Point and develop it. Well, it's not rhetoric anymore. Despite 3 economic downturns, and with the effort of not only Governor McKee, but also Gina Raimondo, who's on to Commerce, but the two of them have been, they made the commitment to North Kingstown and to Rhode Island. And I believe that commitment to North Kingstown was a commitment to Rhode Island, and that this is the finest industrial park on the East Coast. We're lucky to have it here, and today is an historic day to be able to say, through the help of not only Steve getting in touch with me in reference to some federal money that we needed, just a piece of legislation to pass, and we needed the cooperation of labor in order to be able to get that legislation passed, so we could take advantage of some strict labor laws that wouldn't allow the work to take place, and wouldn't have allowed Quonset to take advantage of this free $6 million from the government. We did that, and that is part of this pier today. And this is a prime example, in my opinion, our cooperation between government, labor, and the legislature in particular, getting cued into what it is that is necessary in order to create this economic development. We get to sit here on a day that, by the way, you ordered up some great stuff, and I appreciate that. And last but not least, this guy, I was thinking last night what I was going to say, and I was reading the newspaper about the All-Star team for baseball, and they were talking about guys that didn't make the All-Star team, but would have been great because they were utility position people that started everything. He stars at everything. And Governor, don't ever let him go after you get reelected. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Representative. Much appreciate the endorsement for sure. All right, so we got to go over here. I got a handful of dignitaries come forward. We're going to go cut a ribbon because at 12:30 we have a ship arriving with 1,050 brand new Audis and Volkswagens to be discharged here at Pier 2. So we got to break all this down and make way for real work to begin. So with that, Governor and team, will you come over? We'll cut the ribbon.